The growth of British supremacy, 1758 to 1856. Introduction. The main topic of this lesson is the manner in which the British emerged as a political and economic power in the period 1758-1856 in India. Towards this end, the decisive Battle of Buxar, attainment of the Diwani right, Anglo-Mysore, Anglo-Sikh and Anglo-Maratha wars have been explained. The doctrine of subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse have been revealed to be the cunning schemes of the British. This lesson gives the background to the reason why the Indians, fed up with the British, revolted in 1857 against them.
The East India Company appointed Robert Clive as the governor of Bengal, 1758. Credit goes to him for laying the foundation for British supremacy in India. When Clive returned to his native country after 2 years in India, he had become immensely rich through his ill-gotten wealth. The maladministration of the British after Clive's departure, the company employees involved themselves in private trade more than before and earned huge profits. There was no end to their greed.
The company workers, including the British governor, were corrupt. The common people were frustrated with the maladministration. A British historian has described this period as the period of open and shameless looting. Hence, the prosperity of Bengal started to decline very fast.
The British soon realized that they wouldn't get money or wealth from Nawab Mir Jafar anymore. Therefore, they dethroned him and brought his son-in-law Mir Qasim to the throne. In return, Mir Qasim gave the Zamindari rights of 3 districts to the British. Battle of Buxar, 1764, causes and results. Mir Qasim was an independent-minded man. He noticed that the British were abusing dastak and hence abolished the tax on all trades in Bengal. Furious at this, the British removed him from the post of Nawab. With an intention to take revenge on them, Mir Qasim formed a military alliance with the Nawab of Oudh and the Mughal king. The British defeated this alliance in the battle that took place at Buxar. After their victory, the British became more powerful. The weakened Mughal king sought refuge with the British.
Dastak was a special pass given to the British merchants to carry on trade without paying tax.
Attainment of Diwani rights, 1765. In order to set right the affairs of the company, the British government sent Clive to India again as governor. As soon as he came here, Clive set about making the company's authority legitimate and entered into an agreement with Shah Alam II, 1765. According to the agreement, it was decided that the company had to pay 26 lakh rupees to the Mughal king. In return, the British obtained Diwani rights in the provinces of Bengal, along with Assam, Bihar and Odisha. Diwani means the right to collect land tax. Effect of Diwani. Through the Diwani right, the East India Company acquired official sovereignty in Bengal. It also gained freedom in matters of levying and collecting taxes. As a result, Bengal was subjected to severe economic exploitation. The company collected millions of rupees in the form of land tax and filled its coffers.
Robert Clive returned to England in 1767. Maladministration was being carried on in Bengal. At this time, a terrible famine struck the land. Around 1/3 of the population of Bengal succumbed to hunger. Taking advantage of this situation, the company bought all the rice in the market, sold it at maximum price and gained enormous profit. This was the other face of British economic exploitation.
Regulating Act, 1773. The British officials working in the East India Company began to misappropriate money of the company. In order to put an end to this, the British government decided to properly regulate the activities of the company and keep it under control. In this direction, the British Parliament passed the Regulating Act. According to this law, Warren Hastings got appointed as the first Governor-General. After him, more than 20 people carried on the administration in the post of Governor-General. During this period, the British converted Calcutta into their center of power and took control of the activities of the provincial governments.
In order to correct the defects of the Regulating Act, the British government enacted Pitt's India Act in 1784.
Anglo-Mysore Wars, 1767 to 1799. In 6th Standard, you have learnt about the 4 wars that Hyder Ali and Tippu Sultan waged against the British. As a consequence of these wars, the British captured the kingdom belonging to Tippu and divided it into 4 divisions. The British kept 1 division for themselves. They gave 1 division to the Nizam, another to the Marathas, and the 4th division to the Mysore Wodeyar family to look after. Due to this, the strength of the British in South India gradually improved. Anglo-Maratha Wars, 1775 to 1818. The Marathas, who were defeated in the Third Battle of Panipat, soon recovered. However, within a short time, internecine disputes erupted. Seeing this, the British tried to take advantage of the situation in many cunning ways. In addition, they fought 3 wars with the Marathas. These wars are called Anglo-Maratha Wars. Ultimately, Peshwa surrendered to the British. As a result of the wars, all the areas belonging to the Marathas came into the possession of the British. The British abolished the post of Peshwa. Anglo-Sikh Wars. There were many sects among the Sikhs in the later part of the 18th century. Those sects were called Misl. An adventurous youth named Ranjit Singh was the leader of one Misl. At the age of 18, he became the king of Lahore, Punjab. Credit goes to him for bringing together all the Sikhs and transforming them into a strong political force. He ruled Punjab for over 4 decades. He is one of the memorable kings of modern India. After the death of Ranjit Singh, 1839, political turmoil surfaced in the state. The British were waiting for a time like this. 4 battles were fought between the Sikhs and the English. Ultimately, the Sikhs lost and Punjab came under British rule in 1849.
The Afghan king had taken political patronage from Ranjit Singh and had gifted the Kohinoor diamond to Ranjit Singh.
Cunning British policies. Doctrine of Subsidiary Alliance. Lord Wellesley, 1799 to 1805, made a plan to establish the supreme power of British in India. He encouraged the kings to engage British army support to avoid possible danger of attack from the neighbouring kings. In this direction, some of the kings were forced to take support. These kings had to retain the British army in their kingdoms and pay for their expenses in cash, failing which they had to transfer a portion of land to the British. The British called this doctrine of subsidiary alliance. The effects of doctrine of subsidiary alliance. The massive burden of military expenses weakened the financial position of the kingdoms. The British took large areas of land under their control. The kings who agreed to this system came indirectly under the British control. The state agreeing to this system lost their sovereignty. Doctrine of lapse policy. The Governor-General Lord Dalhousie, 1848 to 1856, brought into force a peculiar rule. Any Indian king who had no descendants lost the kingdom, since adopted children were denied the right to the throne. Consequently, many kingdoms which did not have royal descendants came under British control. This rule was against the ancient traditions of India. As a result of this cunning act, Oudh, Satara, Nagpur, Jhansi and other 11 states directly became British property. In effect, by the time of Dalhousie's return to England in 1856, 2/3 of the Indian subcontinent was under the British rule. In India, the British victory was due to practical political sense and might of their military. This was supplemented by the infighting among the local kings. Interests of people of India were never in the mind of the British. earning enormous wealth and exercising authority were foremost in their minds. As a result of this, the frustrated people revolted in 1857. Some writers named it as the First War of Indian Independence. Important dates: 1764, Battle of Buxar. 1765, Attainment of Diwani Rights. 1799 to 1805, Wellesley's Administration, Doctrine of Subsidiary Alliance. 1848, Dalhousie's Administration, Doctrine of Lapse Policy. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe the channel for notification of upcoming videos.